Hi everyone, my name is Belfae and I am a digital artist who's been sharing my work on Instagram primarily and as well as TikTok and YouTube Shorts for over the past 5 years. And during that time I have never made a long form video before, so welcome to my first long form video. In today's video, we are going to start preparing for ARTFIGHT, which starts in July. I don't know when I'm posting this, but I'm recording it as of the middle of June. It's currently June 17th, and with this video, my goal is to update my OC's character sheets so that it's a little bit more interesting and better than what I had for last year. My OC character sheets that I am updating for this year's ARTFIGHT are from my comic called Lilac Laveau, which you can read on Webtoon Canvas. I'm not quite sure how this YouTube thing works yet, so maybe I'll put a link in the description, or maybe there's one in my bio, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. Anyways, I love these characters that I've been creating for the past however long I've been making my comic. I started posting it finally around 2 years ago, but I've honestly started creating it in my mind probably around the time I was 15, and I'm 21 now, so it's been a hot second since these characters have come into existence, and I've improved so much over the last couple years, and I think I've outgrown their current designs. They just didn't feel quite like they belonged in the world that I'm creating. It's a very fantasy adventure kind of story, and I just didn't feel like their current outfits made them feel like they belonged, if that makes sense. Their past designs, which you might see me pull up her Lilac's old character sheet here and now to color pick and stuff, but their last designs were just very simplistic, which is good for a comic, but I think I just needed a little bit more detail because I was just I don't know if I was getting bored drawing the same thing over and over again, which is kind of funny because this is a comic. I know what I set myself up for. I'm going to be drawing the same thing over and over again, but maybe I was dissatisfied with the fact that it wasn't as visually appealing as what I was imagining. I don't know, but by the end of this video, her updated design is a lot better, and it's something that I think I envisioned more. It's closer to what I first envisioned when I started creating this comic, and that's what I wanted. I'm writing down my wants right now in my file. I wanted a long waistcoat, thigh-high boots, which she has currently, pointy shoulders, and bracers. I feel like a lot of these items give very stereotypical fantasy D&D kind of worlds, and I don't know, I wanted those in my world. I know it might be a little stereotypical, but what's a fantasy story without a little bit of cliche, you know what I mean? Anyways, so yeah, here I am starting my sketching process of what I kind of wanted. And honestly, I'm very surprised when I started drawing this because I didn't really need to mess around with the sketch all that much. I pretty quickly drew what I had envisioned. I think one of my biggest inspirations behind her outfit was Judith Dwart from the series, the book series, the trilogy, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I love that book. I love that book series. I've only read the first 3 books in the trilogy. I know there's a couple of spin-offs, but I love that book series. I just love how the Fae just feel dangerous and stuff, and a little bit more accurate to fables around the world. I'm not super into folklore or anything, but it just kind of feels more Fae that's been established in, I don't know, fairy tales, and not the current romantasy Fae that are just big, strong, tall people with ears and large appendages, if you know what I mean. And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, archetype of Fae, but I can appreciate a little bit of variety here and there. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about romantasy Fae archetypes. My character Lilac, she's not even Fae, she's a human. But yeah, I did take a lot of inspiration from Jude Duarte's character, who she is also a human. She's not even Fae either. So I kind of forget how I started talking about this kind of stuff. But yeah, I nailed her new concept down pretty quickly. So I was really satisfied with that. As for the drawing process, maybe I should speak about that a little more. I know my colors are not that pleasing to look at. I have a purpley grayish background because I find that's easier to see values at, especially for lighter colors, because once it's against like that stark white, my eyes get a little strained and it's just a little bit harder to tell what colors actually look like together, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'm shading in her new planned outfit with a soft, like, translucent brush, and I think that helps me just keep track of what colors I want where. And as for the pink sketch, that, like, what I did to sketch her body, I just like the color pink. There's no rhyme or reason as to why I did that. My sketches were a little bit cuter with the pink when I still used white backgrounds to sketch on top of. I felt like that was a little bit more aesthetic or whatever, but I started using that gray background just so I could, like, see a little bit better. Also, I should probably address the elephant in the room is those two Pinterest poses in the top corner. Yeah, those are just gonna hang out there. I don't really use them until much later on in my drawing process, where I have like a dynamic pose that she's like showing her new outfit off in. But yeah, those are just gonna hang out there on that screen for a long time. So yeah, I feel a little bit weird about using Pinterest poses that are like made by other artists. I know they're there for a reason and like to be shared, but like I still feel weird, and I know it's probably because like everybody's like, you shouldn't use references, you shouldn't trace, and I'm not tracing them. I fully like sketched it out myself, but I did heavily reference them. I kind of like, I guess I'll talk more about it once I get there, but I kind of photo bashed like the arm position and the body position, but in my brain while I was sketching it. So that's where that comes in, if you were curious, because yeah, I do feel a little bit sketched out using Pinterest sketches and poses as references, but you know, it's what made my brain happy in the moment, and I'm not making any money off of this, so I don't see the issue with it, especially since I'm being translucent. If you have a different opinion, please let me know, and I will listen, but that's where I stand by that. I don't know how likely this would be as a possibility, but Lilac is only one of my 3 main characters I have in my comic series, and I kind of want to update all of their character sheets before ARTFIGHT starts, but I don't know how possible that is. Just because there's less than 2 weeks left, I think, until ARTFIGHT like officially starts, and I mean this character updating my character sheet didn't really take that long, but I'm very new to editing, and I chose to use quite a scary editor. I'm using DaVinci Resolve, and it looks quite terrifying to look at. I'm kind of scared. So between the drawing process and the editing process and my voiceover process, I don't know the logistics of me getting 2 more videos out before July 1st, but we'll see. Please let me know if you're still interested in seeing me update my character sheets, even if it's past July, because, I don't know, it's been something I've been meaning to do anyways, so, yeah. I like to be quite the busy bee. I post a part to my comic once a month, along with making other, social media content, and now YouTube content. Hello YouTube, I'm very excited to be here. And Also, I work a full-time job from a 9 to 5 desk, and my wrists, girl, my wrists, they are being obliterated. Don't even get me started when like art fight actually starts, because girl, I'm gonna go so hard. I really want to get better at drawing portraits and rendering. I really want to get better at backgrounds, but I think I want to take a step back from what I normally do in my comics and like focus on more like portraits and rendering, because I don't really do that much in my comics. I draw very simplified. I draw very simplistic panels. I mean, my art style is, I wouldn't say it's the most simplistic, but it's also not the most detailed. So I kind of want to try doing something a little bit more detailed during art fight. So find me on art fight. My name should be the same as it is on YouTube. Capital B, as in bear, elephant. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you guys want to like attack me on art fight, I'll do my best to defend myself and attack you back. Oh, I should also mention, this is my second year doing art fight. I kind of, even though I've been in the digital artist community for a long time, I didn't really know what art fight was for the longest time. And I started last year, but I started like halfway through the month and there was not a lot of time left. And I only did 2 attacks, but I found a lot of people and I found their OCs and I love them. You guys are so creative. I love seeing what people in this community can do, and I got quite a bit of attacks against me, so those were really cool to see, because girl, I'm the only one that draws my characters like ever, and it was so nice seeing other people drawing my characters. It's like they exist somewhere else that's not in my brain. Like, what do you mean? Since I have so many art goals, specifically for this summer, I kind of invested in something kind of crazy. Now bear with me. I got a 2-in-1 laptop. I got the Lenovo Yoga 7, and I know that laptops, like 2-in-1 laptops, are not the greatest for digital art, like with pen pressure levels and everything, but my current situation is dire. I am severely lacking in the vitamin D department, and I needed something. I so desperately needed something that I could take with me and travel with, because my PC that I am filming this on and drawing this on, this whole video, it's located in my basement, and there is like not a singular window in here, and I'm down here for hours, and this is after my 9 to 5. I spend my entire day inside because this is where my work and my hobbies are at, and like, I love my hobbies, but girl, I need to go outside, so why not bring my hobbies with me? You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I might do a laptop review from an artist standpoint, because I procrastinated for weeks before I made my purchase, because you know, it's a lot of money, but also there's also just not a lot of reviews that talk about the pen pressure or like stuff that artists would care about in these sort of reviews, which is surprising to me, because isn't that like one of the major features of a 2-in-1 laptop? Like, are you kidding? Like, I need to know the tea. Tell me now. Tell me immediately. TMI. I don't know. So far so good with my 2-in-1, but you know, we won't know because it didn't come with a pen, like, to draw with. Like, that's their whole thing. You're telling me you didn't come with a pen? So I ordered one. It's not gonna get here for like another week or 2. I'm like, girl, are you kidding? I just wanna take it with me. But it should get here by July, so I can start art fighting on the go. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that. I do like it so far, but you know, I just can't actually test it out for what I intend to do with it. So that's kind of frustrating. I just have to be patient, you know, I'll get through this somehow. Here I am drawing the back view of Lilac's new outfit. As you can tell, I don't draw feet very often, and when I do, they are in shoes, and even those are very simplistic shapes. And girl, I had some struggle time trying to figure out how to draw a back of a shoe. Now, could I have actually found a shoe and looked at it in real life with my own eyeballs and figured it out? I could have. I didn't. I instead struggled, and here I am using a 3D model, which I don't even know if YouTube will let me show, but I'm gonna try it anyways because I don't know how to edit that well, and it's not like I can try and hide it now. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I'm stubborn. So we'll see if I get yelled at first, but... Actually, I don't know if this is the part where I use the model for the feet. I think... Oh, nope, it's right here. Here it goes. Mind you, I don't even really use that much. I think I just wanted it for the arm part to see if, like, I made the arms long enough. Oh, it's so silly. Oh yeah, if you guys are wondering, I am currently using Clip Studio Paint Pro, ? Clip Studio Paint is a little confusing in the sense of like how to use it, because they have so many different like options to like actually use, and I have a perpetual license where I get to make a one-time payment and use it for infinity, but I only get to use it on 2 devices, which is like fine. It's fine. I don't need more than 2 devices. But that also means I get the oldest version of Clip Studio Paint, which is fine. It's fine. I don't even use it all, to be honest. I use the same functions every single time I draw, and maybe that's a bad thing. But it's all I need. And I do like it. Maybe I'm like in some toxic relationship I can't escape, but I do like Clip Studio. However, we had a bit of an argument the other day. As I mentioned, I got a new laptop and I had to get my perpetual license onto my new laptop, which was easy, but I downloaded the wrong version of Clip Studio Paint. I downloaded the newest version, and mind you, I just learned about all the different like payment options and versions and stuff recently, so I didn't even know there were versions older or newer than the one that I was using. So I log in and I look at this new software and I'm like, what am I looking at? I've never seen any of this stuff before. My layout's different. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm sitting here with my new laptop and the layout's completely different. And I get so mad I close the app and I try to figure out what went wrong until the next day. And so the next day comes and I realize I'm like, yeah, I know I downloaded the wrong version. But it eventually let me sign in, and it was like, hey, you have a perpetual license, you can only use version 1, right? So, I find the right version. Little did I know, it updated after I bought my license, but I've been using the same PC that I'm filming and drawing on for like years. I've had this PC for like 10 years, and I've never had to update Clip Studio, and it probably has asked me to, I just probably ignored it. But it looks so different for like compared to the updated version. I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to like change the layout of it, and I got it kind of close to like what is on my screen now, but not really. So yeah, we'll see if I can fiddle with it some more when my pen finally comes in, but I don't know. I think I got it to the best I can get it to. Or it's either that or I update my PC version to the newest version that it will allow me to get with my license. So, I don't know. We'll see. So if you see my layout change in the coming episodes, in the coming videos, that is why. Maybe I should like actually talk about my comic a little bit. I've just been rambling about like absolutely nothing. I'm not even talking about my drawing process all that much, but I don't know. So let's talk about something somewhat related to this video, shall we? So my comic is titled Lilac Laveau, and here's my elevator pitch. Lilac Laveau is the adopted daughter of a royal family, and she is not in line for the crown, so she's just kind of living her life, not really super worried about anything. she's receiving the same education as her cousin, who is the queen, but like she's like super not worried about anything because she doesn't really have any expectations on her. She is just there, which is nice but also could not be nice. Spoiler alert, it did not turn out to be nice because one day her entire family, the royal family, which includes her uncle Abraham, her aunt who is married to her uncle who is named Portia, her mother Lorelai who is Abraham's sister, and her cousin the queen, they all get assassinated. Oops! So the story starts when she wakes up and she's like, what's all this ruckus going on? And she looks outside her bedroom window and she's like, girl, the city's on fire. And so she's like, oh, maybe I should like go find my mom. And so Lilac proceeds to have the most traumatizing night of her life where she finds her mom get murdered. And I forget the old like sequence of my own comic. It's been so long since I started. I forget who she finds first. Either her dead cousin. Can I say the word dead on here? I don't know. And then she finds her mom, who is being murdered, low-key. And yeah, and then she finds the assailant who did it. Am I using that word right? Let me Google it. Okay, I am using that word right. So she finds the assailant who killed her family. Allegedly. We didn't see nothing happen. No, he totally did it. So she, you know, with all of her and her nonchalantness and all of her, like, I don't know what motivated her to do this. Her fight or flight response kicked in and she decided to fight. So she chases this guy who's like, oh shit, someone saw me. And he jumps out the window. Lilac jumps after the window after him. She's like chasing him down in the woods. Mind you, she's barefoot. And I'm like, girl, you know those twigs gotta hurt your feet or something. She doesn't care. She's chasing him violently and effectively, surprisingly. Next thing you know, she grabs this man by his cloak, yanks him back in and clocks him in the face. And then they're tussling down. She's fighting surprisingly well for a noblewoman. I have reasons for that. But then something suddenly stops the fight before she could win, which I feel like she was gonna win, in my opinion, because, I don't know, he just wasn't fighting that well in response, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, it's like that Abby Lee, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I hear this agitated, grating voice. Nah, I'm just kidding. It was a divine beam of energy that fell from the sky into Lilac, and she soaked up all this magic power, but it was so much all at once, and then she proceeded to pass out for 2 weeks. Luckily, the assailant who murdered her family was chill enough to leave her there. Which sounds so weird now that I'm saying it out loud. But he did, because she woke up a couple weeks later, and yeah, that's where I think the first episode starts. So you can continue reading it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you do read it, let me know if you like it. I don't like that sound I just made. I just needed you to know that. But yeah, this is my little passion project, my comic that I'm working on. So if you end up reading it, it'll make me very happy. But if not, then I make other stuff online too, so that's not the only thing I work on. However, I do have a warning for those who choose to read my comic. I've never super explicitly explained this before online, but what's a better time to start than now, in the present? So let me explain it. My intentions with Lilac Laveau, my comic, was to use this as a way to challenge myself. For years I put off actually starting my comic because I just didn't think my art was good enough, and then one day my brain chemistry changed because I saw this Instagram video when I was doom scrolling, and it was about this woman who was basically like, all your dream projects that you have, you need to start now, because how do you improve your skills that you need in order to work on the project? By doing that project. You're never gonna feel like you're good enough, so you should just start now. And I was like, wow, I've been positively influenced for once. So then literally like 2 weeks later, I pumped out my first part, maybe even the first 4 parts. I don't know the timeline exactly, but shout out to that woman who inspired me. I don't know who you are. I don't know where that video went. I might have it saved somewhere. But girl, you changed me. And I miss you. And I love you. Maybe. I don't know. Love is a strong word. And also, you just never know what people are up to online, so I love you in a figurative sense, not in a real sense. Because that's a little weird. Oh my god, I'm so bad at rambling. Anyways, the point I was making is that the first couple episodes of me doing my comic, it took the span of years, so my art style changed considerably. It went from looking like butt ugly to like somewhat anime inspired, which is not something like my art is like, so I don't know where that came from. I mean, I do watch anime, but I don't like my art isn't super influenced by it for some reason. So I don't know where that came from. And then by the end of the 3rd episode, I kind of like locked in. Something changed within me. And it just started looking good. I like found my like signature art style, which I feel like I've had for a long time, but I feel like it wasn't super solidified until the end of the 3rd episode of my comic, you know? Like the backgrounds got really good. And there's a video for that too, where I got a bunch of brushes. That definitely helped. I think her name is like, on YouTube, her name is like Danielle F something. Her last name starts with an F. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description, or maybe I have it in a playlist somewhere on my channel, but she really came in clutch with my backgrounds, so heck yeah. I'm so bad at exploiting thoughts in my brain in a cohesive way. So the overall point that I'm making is that I use my comic as a way to grow my art. So it's gonna look weird at some points, and we're just gonna have to be okay with it. I mean, it's gotten a lot better in more recent parts. I'm currently working on the 5th episode, so we've had a couple episodes where my art like finally like looks good in a place where I'm happy with. So yeah, I'm still not super good at backgrounds that take place inside. This is probably bad to admit, but in the 2nd episode I used a lot of a heavy referenced like a Sims 4 background build I made. I know 3D models are often used in comics, and I know it's okay. I know ethically it's fine, kind of. I don't know where I stand on it. Because for me, I wanted my comic to be something where I'm forcing myself to improve. And if I'm using 3D models for my things that I struggle with, then am I really improving? I don't know. It's up for debate, but also I mostly just do art as a hobby, so I don't know if I should care that much. I don't know. If you have thoughts, let me know. I know it's kind of a hot topic, so I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. I haven't used 3D models in a long time. I do use like human 3D models for my art sometimes, but I think that I'm more okay with that because I have a better understanding of drawing humanoid creatures. It's just that I'm upset with myself because I used 3D models for backgrounds, which is something I do struggle with and something I want to improve on, so I don't know if that makes sense, but that's where I'm at right now. So hopefully in the future I don't really do that, and I know in the next couple of episodes my characters will be in an indoor environment again, so I will have to face my fears pretty soon. Back to my character sheet for a moment. Dog. Doesn't this pose look really good? I know I use my Pinterest like references pretty heavy, but like I sketched that by hand. My eyes did all the looking. My hand sketched that, and my sketching has gotten so good this year. And I have a video that helped me sketch way better. It's a pretty, like, I don't know if it's unique, but I think it's unique to this person who like taught the video on how to like sketch this way. So you might recognize him from the way that I sketch, because I think it's unique to this person. But it really did help. It made my poses look so much more fluid, and I'm so in love with it. Like, that pose, it's god tier. My art doesn't usually look this good, and I don't know if I should say that because like I'm trying to build an audience, but like it looks so good. That dynamic pose I'm working on, it's so good. Obviously I've clocked out during this part of the recording because like, why is it not moving? I think that's intentional. Oh, there she goes. But yeah, I don't know if I will spoil which video I'm referencing, like when it comes to the sketching, because at the end of the year I want to make another video where I review a bunch of art tutorial videos, and I'm gonna like rate them to see how much I think they improved my art. And I don't mean to like gatekeep this information. In the meantime, I do have a public playlist with a bunch of the art tutorials that I'm going to be reviewing. I haven't watched most of them, but most of them that I want to review are in there, and they are on a public playlist. So if you're reading any of your art too, they are there, and there are resources that I use as well. So yeah, this pose, oh, it's so good. I'm so proud of myself. I just peaked my mic, I'm so sorry. For my next video, I think, well, I know what I'm going to do for the next 2 videos, which is me still preparing for ARTFIGHT. But specifically, the character I want to redesign the outfit for is my girl Thona from my comic. All of my OCs are from my comic. I don't think I've made an OC not related to my comic since I was a kid, which is probably a little sad because I'm like super hyper fixated on my comic. It's like a little, I don't think it's unhealthy. Girl, I need hobbies. Everyone needs a hobby. But yeah, my girl Thona is next, and I'm very excited because she's so pretty. I mean, all my characters are pretty, I think. But Thona, she's like, I don't know, she's everything I want it to be. She has super long hair. She's like girly. Lilac's girly too. Honestly, I'm like all of my characters now that I think about it. I feel like everybody projects themselves, like a portion of themselves, into all of their characters, if they're good. Now that I might take back that statement I just made, because like there are bad evil characters, and maybe, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if I keep that statement later in the future, because I haven't super designed any like villains yet, so I'm assuming most people don't put themselves into a villain, but maybe they do, I don't know. I'm kind of also new to this whole writing thing. In recent history, I've been trying to become more of a better writer. I just graduated college like 6 months ago, and during that time, like during my college years, I didn't really write because that's not something my degree focused on. So my writing skills that I developed during high school, which weren't great to begin with, they kind of diminished during that time. And the only time I ever wrote was the occasion I had an essay to do, which was very rare. I didn't have to write many essays during college. Or I was writing for my comic. So if my writing isn't the best, that's also why. Not to be like too like dismissive of myself or humble. I do know that what I'm doing, it is hard, so I do try to give myself grace here and there, but I also acknowledge my weaknesses and where I need to improve, and I do know my writing is sometimes not the best, so bear with me. I do have the entire plot of my comic, but there are definitely some things I'm making I wrote out the first like 15 chapters of my comic, not really in one sitting, but it was during like a period of time where I was like, this is how I want my story to start. And as I was writing my comic, I was like, oh, I kind of want to insert this scene, or oh, I want to like say that this happened real quick, even though that wasn't like the main plan. And I do enjoy that. I do like letting myself be flexible in that way, but I do think there may be like one or two minor plot holes in my story already, and that's not a great feeling to know that they're there like that, but you know, you live and you learn, and I'm definitely gonna learn and be better about it in the future. Alright, so this speed paint is kind of coming to a close. I didn't really want to include any close-up like expression shots on this one just because I didn't feel like it at the time. I might add on to it later on. But yeah, I'm just doing some final formatting. I kind of wanted the dynamic pose to be the same size as like the first two outfit shots, but I don't know if it's like exactly to scale, and I don't know if I care about that too much either. Anyways, I could like talk about my art and my comic for a really long time if I'm able to, but I'll have plenty of opportunity to do that in the future. So yeah, this is my finished character sheet. I hope you like it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching my first ever long form video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!